We're going to be covering how to manipulate textures with scripts in this video. We're going to be building off some of the things we've learned in prior videos as well. We're going to start like we have similarly in the past by creating a box, and this time we're going to center it and we're going to adjust the scale to make it look a little bit like a panel here like this, and then we're going to create a new script inside the box. For now, we're only going to make one change to the default script. We're just going to update the touch start event. We're going to change the LL_say function to an LL_owner_say function. This will send a message to you as the owner only. And all we need for this function is the string that we're going to send to you as a message. And then we're going to use the detected touch face function. This function only requires one parameter, which in this case is going to be the face touched. And the face touched is going to be returned as an integer, and we're going to convert that integer to a string here. So when we save this, we touch the box, it's going to tell us the number of the face that we touched. And you'll see it says we've touched face number 4. It's a 6-sided cube, sides 0 through 5. This is side 4. And this is the side or the face that the script is going to be manipulating. So the next thing you need to do is copy a bunch of textures from your inventory into the inventory of the box. The textures have to have copy permission for this. I'm just using 10 random wall textures in this example. For the script I'm going to create, it doesn't matter how many textures you use. Now we're going to open up that default script and make some changes. First, we're going to create a brand new integer called runCount. And then we're going to delete the state entry event. We don't need it for this script. And then we're going to update the touch start event with the setTexture function. This function has two parameters, a string for the name of the texture and the face that you're going to update. We're going to be using the LLGetInventoryName function we've used prior. We're using the constant for inventory texture. And in this case, we're using runCount as the number. Remember, runCount starts at 0. And then for the face number, we're using 4, which is the one we detected prior. Next, we're adding 1 to runCount. And then we're going to add a conditional here that checks the value of runCount. If runCount is greater than or equal to the total number of textures in inventory, we're going to reset runCount to 0. I have 10 things in inventory, so once runCount gets to 10, it'll reset to 0. And then it'll use the first texture in inventory again the next time it's touched. So let's take a look at how this functions on the grid. Each time you touch the cube, that face will change to a different texture. And once you've reached the last texture, it rotates back to the first one again. Let's update the script one more time. Let's change the setTexture function to an LLSetPrimitiveParams function. This is the first time we've used this function. There are a lot of things you're able to do with this function. In this case, all we're going to be doing is updating the texture. And updating the texture with this function gives us quite a few more options. With this function, we can not only update the texture on a specific face, but we can update the repeats, the offsets, and the rotation of the texture. The repeats and offsets require a vector. Only the first two floats in the vector are actually read by this parameter. These represent the X repeats and the Y repeats, and represent the X offset and the Y offset. The Z float in the vector is ignored. The last parameter is a float value representing the rotation of the texture. In this case, I'm using 0.0, which is basically 0 rotation. In this example, I just updated the repeats. I used 2 by 2 for the tiling of the texture in this case. And let's take a look at this in World. You can see the difference when it's tiled 2 by 2 versus 1 by 1. Hopefully you gained some value from this video and enjoyed it. If you have comments or questions, you can put those below, or you can email me at the address in the description. I have references in the description as well. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the like button. In the next video, we'll create a basic HUD and expand on this a little bit more. Hope to see you then. Thanks again for watching.